At the UN in Geneva on March 15th, the Geneva Center for Human Rights Advancement and Global Dialogue organized this side event.
And there is indeed a convergence of the language. There's a convergence of the holy books so dynamically that we're discovering that some of the so-called heresies, such as, is Jesus the Son of God? Is Allah the God of the Bible? The Trinity and all these forbidden concepts can actually be bridged, and they are what I would call deadly misunderstanding.
Good evening on this Tuesday night as this country and the world now reacts to another series of deadly terror attacks. Tonight, the urgent manhunt right now after the city of Brussels is rocked with multiple explosions at the airport and then in the subway. Americans among the injured, among those trapped, and you'll hear from them tonight.
In response to the terror attack in Brussels, Bridges responds and is asked to address the European Parliament directly, just days after the attacks occurred. The city is still on lockdown.
Let me start with Ambassador Sajjander, not only a former U.S. congressman, a very experienced man, but someone who has been devoting a lot of time in finding a common ground among the Abrahamic faith.
Everyone talks about peace, but it's so difficult to find an answer to it. And slowly but surely, with the inspiration of God, we believe we discovered a methodology that works, and it works seemingly consistently to bring conflicts to resolution, crises under control, and even help to undermine radicalism. Now that's a big statement, isn't it? Brown University in the United States, along with Harvard, analyzed the cost of the United States 4 wars on terror, in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, and the war on terror more broadly. It has cost the United States taxpayers between $4 and $7 trillion, since 9/11. Trillion. And all of the policymakers, almost unanimously in the United States, say we're no better off. Now, how frustrating could that be? We spend $7 trillion, hundreds of thousands of lives. To do what? To succeed, essentially, at no pace whatsoever. So, what we need, I believe, and I say submit this humbly, is a very vastly new paradigm of how we think of one another and how we think of this elusive notion of peace. You know, the word peace in the Semitic languages means something other than peace. It means to be complete, to finish. And when Jesus, whom we're attempting to emulate in this austere occasion, he said that true peace comes, how? By loving God and loving our neighbor. And one of the enemies of America is radicalism. So you say, we're going to love radicals into transformation of thinking? And the answer is, I believe the answer is yes. We have tried killing. We have tried, at least the United States, spending $4 to $7 trillion, as I alluded to earlier, to no avail. None. So perhaps we should try whom we claim is the King of Kings, and the Messiah in Islam, and the Messiah in Christianity, Jesus, try his suggestions. So we have attempted, in our feeble way, to apply this in real life, not theoretical, but real life circumstances. So I stand really before you not as a politician from Washington who will issue glowing words of encouragement and false hope, but rather a rather broken person, fractured in most every way one could conceive. And in my heart, I felt there has to be a way. The Lord is merciful and compassionate. There must be a key. There must be a secret. There must be something hidden in the ancient languages somewhere that would help unearth the secret about Son of God, the Trinity, the deity of Jesus, these powerful, divisive issues that have caused crusades and inquisitions, that fuel militancy, radicalism, that fuel the hatred toward the West and toward America and toward Christians and Jews. These issues fuel the very thing we have spent, according to Harvard and Brown, and will have spent between 6 and 7 trillion to stop. So to me, if we could find the key to common ground to some of these divisive issues, it could change the world.